What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Yanks the Cop. For all of you that joined our watch along, thank you so much for joining that. It was a lot of fun. Homie and I had a blast, and unfortunately, we didn't come away with the victory. But well, homie, what did you overall think of this one? Actually, before we get into that, we just want to quickly mention that there was news that came out that the Madrid bus was smashed. I think these things happen all the time in football. Liverpool have obviously been highlighted in recent seasons, but obviously, that shouldn't be condoned at any point. We don't want to disrespect our opposition and stuff like that. So, but let's get into the game. What did you think of it overall, homie?
Obviously, the starting lineup, I was a bit surprised overall. I was surprised, obviously, that I thought Thiago would have started. I did want Milner starting. I said we played a 4-3-3. I said I want Milner starting. But I was surprised that he didn't go Thiago and Milner, Fabinho. But I understood, obviously, the fact that he wanted to press the hell out of Madrid. And I think, Jota, I can understand as well coming off the bench, because I think Jota wasn't that good in Madrid. And I think a lot of times Jota's looked better when he's come off the bench for us and scored goals rather than when he started. So I understood the Jota on the bench. But I understand, obviously, a lot of fans were upset the fact that they weren't starting, or that he should have gone with a 4-2-3-1 formation. But I think in the first half, you look at it, the pressing worked. Madrid couldn't get out of the box, and we had them penned in for a lot. And, realistically, look, when you look at that selection, Klopp can't ask much more. Salah had two simple chances where he should have scored. The first one, when Mane passed the ball to him, he had the whole goal to shoot, and he shoots straight at the keeper. Then he had the other one where he, I think, like I said before, during the game, it was 17-18 scores, the second one he has as well. And then there's also the Ginny chance where Ginny should have scored. So the first half, really, Klopp's would have been proven right if any one of them had taken their simple chances. So, I know people are going to be obviously annoyed, and, there are people saying Klopp out, which is a massive reaction, and there are people who are slagging off the team. But in the first half, we should have been 3-0 up and outside. So, we can only have it's a tale of our season where sometimes we've not taken our chances, or we've been sloppy defensively. It is what it is. It is disappointing. So I do feel Sophie's pain.
Yeah, I think the amount that Klopp got wrong in the first leg with starting Naby Keita and starting Jota, I think he got right in this second leg. I thought that starting Milner, a lot of people balked at Milner starting in midfield. I was questioning why Thiago wasn't starting, but you saw it immediately in the first 2 minutes of the game. Milner's press, Gini's press, Fabinho's press is much better as a unit with Firmino helping out than if Thiago was in there. And that is just so evident to me when you saw what happened in the second half. We just lost all intensity when all of us supporters were asking for Klopp to make some changes, finally make some changes, and we lose all the intensity out of the game. We lost, we weren't seeing any challenges anymore. Thiago was late to pretty much every press that was, humanly possible. Jota, I thought, was probably the worst player in the pitch. He couldn't string a pass together. I think he had one decent opportunity where he beat somebody off a quick dribble, but other than that, I thought he was absolutely atrocious. And we just kind of lost faith there at the end. Unfortunately, we absolutely lost faith, and now we just need to focus on the top four. I mean, hats off to Zidane, hats off to Real Madrid. They proved that they're the Champions League team that we all knew that they were, and even without their best players and Ramos and Varane and Carvajal and all these guys, they still came in and won the tie. So. You only tip your cap to them. They were professional. They weren't diving to the ground or anything. You didn't really see much of that, which was good to see. But it's tough. It's a tough loss. It's tough to see us out. But in this season, the fact that we made it to the quarterfinals with all of our injuries and had this opportunity that we had tonight, it's good to be a Liverpool fan.
But like when you think about the Salah chances, why do you feel that someone who's normally so like prolific, who's normally rises for the big occasion, Salah, why do you think on a big night like tonight he misses those simple chances?
Tonight was very un-Mo Salah-like. I don't understand, like especially the first chance Mane put it on a plate for him and he put it in the center of the goal. It was a routine save for Courtois, and I just don't understand. And then he just wasn't himself tonight. I don't know. He looked good off the dribble. His passing was accurate. I thought he played well in that sense, but in terms of finishing, he was just he just wasn't up to the Mo Salah that we've known in seasons past. That is just. I don't know what it was. And maybe he needed the fans there. I don't know. He scored 28 goals this year altogether. So, yeah, I mean, Ronnie Jacobs, I'm pretty upset about the tie. I really am. I'm not going to smash my TV over it. I'm really not. I just think that's a waste of money, to be honest. And I don't want to do that. So I'm sorry that I haven't smashed my TV, but yeah, what did you think about Salah?
I think, like I said before, I love Salah. I don't want him to go. I want him to sign a new contract and stuff. But I said, like, he's a great goal scorer. It's just not clinical. Because he needs a lot of times for 3 or 4 chances to score a goal sometimes, Salah. Because, and I think that's the one criticism of him is the fact that he needs those chances to score a goal when he should just be clinical. He should have buried that chance. Even the second half, there was a bit where he had the ball and he went on for like 2 extra touches, and I felt like he just hits that first time because when he has a second touch, then another touch, it allows the defender to come back and get the tackle in. So I felt like Salah should have done better tonight. Like, I'm not going to scapegoat because I think also like Ginny missed a great chance. Then I thought we were forcing it too many times. I thought Bobby should have done better with the header he had. And we were just forcing the ball too much in the second half. And I think that's what really affected us. Like, we kind of just trying so hard to force it with passes, and it just doesn't work. Just going to few reads on the chat. Yeah, Eve, if only they had the same amount of energy from that in the first leg. Yeah, that's true. That's why I said in the first leg, I felt that Milner should have started the first leg because I felt that we missed leadership. And I felt like tonight, Milner comes away from this game with full credit. I would have taken off Milner at the 6-minute mark. I would have taken off Ginny instead because I felt that Milner was giving us that organisation. He was controlling the game in terms of helping us keep possession of the ball. He was getting good tackles in, and he was rattling Madrid players. So I think like when he went off, we lost the energy he was bringing. So I felt that obviously affected us. Oscar Marcus, I want your money's worth for that shirt, but it's time to clear out. Look, I know Mane's had a bad season today, and the same with Firmino, but I wouldn't sell either of them this summer, because I'm not going to discredit all the amazing stuff they've done for us over the last 2 to 3 years for us. They've been playing, Mane's played, I think, over like 140 games without any rest. So, of course, it's going to catch up with him. The same with Bobby. They played a lot of games without any rest. Now, to say that they're now bad players because they've had a poor season, that's just reactionary. And I think it's poor insight. Mane just needs a rest. The same with Bobby, and they'll come back recharged. But I wouldn't say either of them. And same thing with Robertson and Trent. Of course, they're world class. Robertson and Trent don't go from being the 2 best fullbacks last season when we won the league title to not being. I think that's very reactionary, and I think that's your opinion. Fair enough, but I don't think you're talking about, mate. Because if you think they're not world class now because of one bad season, then that's like saying Walker wasn't world class last season when we won the league title, or Kevin De Bruyne wasn't world class when we won the league title last season. So, I think you're being very reactionary.
What's going on? I didn't hear anything.
No, you're saying that we need to clear out Mane. We need to clear out Mane and Bobby, and that Robertson and Trent are never world class anymore. I think that's very reactionary.
I thought Mane played. Maybe it's just me. I thought Mane played really well tonight. I thought, especially in that first half, I thought he was absolutely fantastic. He fed Mo, I think, twice for 2 opportunities, and Mo missed them both. So I thought Mane, looked like the Mane of old tonight. Second half, he drifted off a little bit, but so did the whole team. Once Klopp made those changes, the intensity was gone. And that's unfortunate. I don't blame the subs. I don't blame Klopp. I think Klopp did the right thing, but the subs, they couldn't match the intensity of the game. Everything slowed down, and that's more of the pace that Real Madrid wanted to play. In terms of Robertson and Trent, I thought Robertson was okay tonight. I thought Trent was phenomenal. I thought Trent was one of our best players. He was whipping in crosses. He was winning the ball back. He played well defensively overall. So I don't know how people are really complaining too much about it. And, I agree with Akiri. I don't understand why people are saying Klopp out. Yeah, if you look at this season, we lost probably the world's best center back. We lost one of England's top 2 center backs. We lost a great center back in Joel Matip. We lost Dejan Lovren at the start of the summer, and we've had 28. I think it's 28 different center back partnerships. We lost Fabinho for a little while. Like, this is always going to be a tough season, and yeah, I'm definitely disappointed about this result. I think it was somewhat expected, which makes it maybe a little easier. But the fact that we've had this difficult of a season and we're still in the race for top 4, I don't know how you can really complain about it too much.
Just reading some of these chats, I don't think it was just a Zidane masterclass tonight at all, because Madrid should have been 3-0 down at half time. That's not really a masterclass. Liverpool just poor finishing today. And in the first leg, we were just as good as Madrid were with their 3 goals. We were shocking in that first leg. But I'm not going to take anything away from Madrid. They deserve to go through. They're the better team of the 2 legs. Sophie says she can't be mad when we performed very well, just we weren't able to score. The first leg has hurt us. Yeah, I did. I agree. The first leg did hurt us. Gandhi said we had a chance to take them, been our story all season, which I agree. Salah again, he needs 5 chances to score 1. He needs a chance to get. Yeah, that's true. Salah doesn't need a lot of chances to score, but he's still our top goal scorer, and he has been most consistent in terms of scoring over 20 goals every season for now the past 4 seasons. Not many players around the Premiership are doing that. Ronnie Jacobs says I've been a season holder since '94. Respect for that. Steven Sars says we let it all on the pitch tonight, but unfortunately we let ourselves too much to do. We let ourselves too much to do. Another night could have been different. Almost an upwards, 100%, mate. I think if we had the fans tonight, we would go through, but it's just one of those things. Oscar Marcos, Salah failed his Madrid audition. Salah's not going Madrid. He doesn't want to leave Liverpool. So I don't know where you're going with Salah. Failed his Madrid audition. He signed a new contract this summer. Klopp out, sleeping in the car tonight as my girl is a Man United fan. The pain and struggle. Yeah, it's a pain for all of us. But it's football. You have your ups and downs. And that's the way Liverpool is. I've been a Liverpool fan for like 34 years now. So, yeah. we have our highs, we have our lows. There's all the banter and all the making fun of just part of it.
I just want to get to one here. It's a little further ahead from where you are, but Blade Brown said we can't keep making excuses. Every team gets injuries. We need to wake up here. Yeah, I agree in a sense. Like, we can't keep making excuses, but look at what happened to Man City last season. They lost to us by 18 points when they lost Laporte, and they had to put Fernandinho back there. We're still in the top 4 race. We're 2 or 3 points behind West Ham and Chelsea. We still have a huge opportunity here to make the top 4, and that's with 28 different center back partnerships. 28 different center back partnerships have such an impact on the rest of the team. It's not even funny. City had 1 different change, and all of a sudden their season was in shambles. So you got to look at it from that perspective, in my opinion.
And I'll say this, Ronnie Jacobs says Madrid had no Varane and Maras. Yes, Madrid had injuries, but Madrid have much better squad depth than us. We have to also be realistic as well. They have much better depth than us in terms of, who they can bring in. We're bringing in, realistically Kabak and Phillips, who've done well, but they'll probably be like our 4th and 5th choice centre backs. Madrid had the 3rd, 4th centre backs to pick from. So their depth is much more better than us. Madrid are a much richer club than us. They're always in the top 2 of Deloitte richest clubs in the world. So, we are competing at a different level to Madrid. Madrid can go out and probably get an Mbappe this summer. We're not at that level. We are at level in terms of we can win trophies at Madrid, but we're not at the level in terms of squad depth. So it's a massive difference. I
don't understand why all these people are saying Klopp out. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
I think let them say it. Everyone else, please match your 16 of you. Please smash that like button and also make sure you subscribe and tell your friends about us, because that's going to help us grow this channel. It's going to help us bring more amazing guests and bring more amazing content. And we really appreciate your support. So much love for the chat being popping again, and we appreciate all opinions, whether you're Klopp in, Klopp out, whether you're rival, if you're going to come in here and give us banter, it's all part of it. So, all opinions are welcome.
Yeah, Anthony said your thoughts. Front three, Mane's now 29, Firmino's 30, Salah's 29, squad now aging with Hendo at 30, Thiago 30, Van Dijk 30. Are you worried at all about this? Could it be the last we see your team's front three? Yeah, I think it's a concern that they're all, we've reached this stage, and that's why I think that Klopp has stayed on as manager. That's why he re-signed that contract until 2024, is because he knows that's the case, and he knows that he needs to stay in order to see that transition for the next manager. He doesn't want to just up in arms, just leave Liverpool and leave us stranded and just be left with this aging squad. Like, he 100% knows that. So he's going to stay this summer. I think FSG knows that. We're going to go on a little spending spree. We're probably going to sell a lot of players. There's going to be some movement at Liverpool this summer. I think if we can keep the foundations foundation together, we sign maybe one or two attackers, I think we're revamped and ready to go for next season. I think we're challenging City for the title again. I really do. Especially if we get Van Dijk back, we get Gomez back, we get another center back. I think it's looking really, really good.
I agree with that. I mean, of course, the age concern of our squad is a concern, but there's only so much we can do in one summer. And I don't think we're in the position right now to sell Bobby, Mane, and Salah this summer. And I think we need to keep them all and add an extra forward to them. I think what we're going to need to do is, like you're saying, like we don't. It's not a lot we need. We just need another centre back, another midfielder, another wide forward, or striker. Realistically, and then we're back on in terms of challenging City and challenging for big honours. Of course, it's been a tough season, but to be still in top four race is huge for me. Especially that some of us thought it was over. A lot last month, so we just have to keep going and keep positive. Top four still within our grasps, and of course, Klopp and FSG are going to be looking at evolving the team, but we're not in the position to do it all in one summer, and we don't have the funds to do it. Although you could question we should have the funds, but it is what it is. We know how the club is run and our model. But just going back to the match, Andrew. At the end of that first half, we obviously felt that we had those big chances where we should have really been 3-0 down. At that point, of course, how I was in the watch along. You kept telling me to be more positive and stop moaning. And I found it hard because I was just getting frustrated because it reminded me of the Atletico Madrid game last year, where we, although the Atletico Madrid we scored, we missed so many chances we should have been outside. And I felt tonight it was reminded in that sense of we didn't score, but we missed so many chances. Like going into that half with the chances we missed, how did you feel going into that second half, into the half time? And did you really believe in the second half we were going to come back and score and get the goals? Because I felt in that first half, we put a lot of energy into it, and I think that's where our chance was gone in that first half. I felt we had to go in that half with a go up to go through. I think expecting us to score 2 in the second half was a step too far.
Yeah, I mean, what was the score in the Barcelona game? It was 1-0 at halftime, right? And we scored 3. We scored 3 in the second half.
Yeah,
I mean, you could be just judging from. I mean, just going off that, I thought that. I think we really should have scored in that first 20 minutes. We really had Madrid pinned down. The crowd's there; it's a different story. But our chances really screwed us. But to answer your question, going into the second half, I was fairly optimistic. I thought the boys did everything right. I thought they played their game. I thought that they've definitely missed some chances, but I thought that Klopp set them up to succeed. They were succeeding. They just needed to finish everything off, and they didn't do that in the first half. So I was feeling optimistic in going into the second half. I thought that if we could get something before 70 minutes, then that would really put Madrid under a lot of pressure. And we did continue that pressure into the second half. I think it was in the 55th minute. We had a lot of chances up until then, and then all of a sudden Milner comes off, and Thiago comes on, Jota comes on, and Kabak comes off, and all of a sudden it's a different game, and we kind of went back into the way we played in that first leg. It wasn't as fluid. There wasn't as much pressure on Madrid. Madrid seemed much more comfortable. And ultimately, I just think the subs really lacked the intensity, unfortunately. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes, it's very difficult for a sub to come on and, you're cold coming off the bench, and all of a sudden you're expected to, really put in a 10 out of 10 performance. And that just wasn't the case tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah, just going back to the chat, like Eve M says, bring in players, integrate them into the side, learn from the current crop before they leave its ideal situation. I fully agree, and I think that's why we need to bring new players in, but keeping bulk of the core good players and move out the players like like a Shaq, Origi, Minamino, Ox, Keita, move out those players that we don't really need that surplus. Stephen,
I agree. I completely agree with Eve. That's exactly why Klopp is staying. It's because he understands that. He knows that we need to keep that core, that foundation around, so that they can learn. I mean, look how, having James Milner on the side, the guy's 35 years old, but look what he did tonight. I actually think that Gini Wijnaldum can be that type of player. I don't think he's going to be. I think he's going to leave this summer. But, I think having some of those core players around, like Henderson as well, is just massive for the younger players, especially when we'll likely see some transfers in this summer.
Yeah, and I just want to go to Stephen Stodd's point. Like, there's some fickle people in this chat, these so-called fans that weren't saying anything when we were winning the Premier League and the Champions League. And it's true. There's a great saying: if you can't support us when we are losing or when we're down, then don't support us when we're winning. Because Liverpool, the whole point of walk along is you support us through thick and thin. And I totally understand the frustration of people, the fact that we're out of the Champions League. I'm gutted too. I was thinking of number 7, Istanbul, and I totally get that. But at the same time, I think a lot of people now just saying, "Oh, get rid of our players that they're not good enough," is very reactionary, and it's not. You're very short-sighted, And I've seen obviously people criticizing Milner. Look, Milner's 35, but he played well today. We look more organised and more disciplined with him there. And Madrid players didn't like the fact Milner was in their face because they don't like that kind of player. So I think like people say Milner was rubbish tonight when watching the same game. And I get it's frustrating, but the real frustration was the fact that we didn't take our chances rather than criticizing other players. Because if Salah or Gini score their goals, it's a different game, and none of you are complaining about the fact that over the lineup or the fact that how the game turned out if they take the chances. So I think
dude, they're just trolls. Like, I'm not even going to respond to them anymore. Last thing I'll say is one person in the chat said that Andy Carroll should never have been sold. So that's kind of where I'm just going to leave it. That's absolutely ridiculous statement. But that's his opinion. If he truly believes that, then that's great. Good for you. I thought Milner was fantastic tonight. He didn't show his age at all. You could see how frustrated the Madrid midfielders were. I mean, think about Toni Kroos tonight. How many times did we say Toni Kroos's name tonight? I didn't see him make one great pass or anything like that. There was so much pressure on him, and he was subbed. He was yanked off in the 70th minute. So I mean, great job for the midfield on Toni Kroos. Modric was, he played a Modric game. I thought he actually played pretty well, but he was relatively quiet. You could see that Benzema was frustrated. We did everything that we could have done. We just, unfortunately, just like Atletico Madrid last year, sometimes these things happen when you can't put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, just want to say congratulations on 300 subs, by the way. We could have done it without you, J-Doc, and everyone in the chat and everyone who follows us and loves Yanks of the Cops. So, we're only where we at because of you. So onwards and upwards to 500, and let's do it together and then get to 1,000. So we appreciate all the love and support.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Julian, same to you, man. Appreciate it, Julian.
Yeah, so
JG, thanks so much for joining us, man. Safe ride home.
Yeah, safe. Take. Safe. No, on to the next show. We'll see you for the Leeds game. So just going on that, in the second half, did you feel that we were just forcing it at times, especially So I totally agree because we were saying we wanted the subs. I was quite advocate we needed subs on. I felt we needed Thiago and Jota, but for me, I felt that Milner should have stayed on the game. Now I don't know if obviously it was fitness wise or tactical wise that he can only last 60 minutes, but I felt Milner should have stayed on the game. But being as may, Jota and Thiago when they came on offered nothing and were very poor. I think when they came on, we lost all the momentum. And we just went from creating chances to just forcing it. The amount of times I saw Bobby or Trent or Salah or Gini just trying to force it with an overhead pass. or under hit pass. And it just became frustrating in the second half. Like Madrid started to just get comfortable for me in the sense that they knew that Liverpool weren't going to create anything. And when we did create chances, our finishing was poor. Because I think Bobby should have scored a header or should have hit the target. I think Salah should have shot his chance first time instead of taking like 3 touches, which killed it. I think Jota had a chance where he should have headed the ball across goal instead of trying to head it on goal. So it was a combination of we forcing it, and when we did have the few chances, we just were indecisive and not clinical enough. So how do you feel overall in terms of that second half?
Yeah, I mean, we were definitely forcing it. I thought that it was like right when the subs came in, I think the rest of the team realized that we were likely going to be out, and that's when we really it's kind of like in American football when you just throw the ball long and it's called the Hail Mary. You just throw the ball, it's a Hail Mary. That's kind of what they were doing in the Real Madrid half. They were just trying to force it. They were trying to thread the needle, find these chances, and it ended up coming off a couple of times. Salah had that huge chance where he took way too many touches, and Trent. I thought Trent was putting in some really good crosses, like the one with Jota that you mentioned. But yeah, when you're forcing it like that, it's just desperation at its finest. And Madrid did well and coped with the pressure. I mean, unfortunately, there weren't 50,000 fans adding to that pressure. Maybe that would have been a different story, but. Yeah, when you're chasing a game like that, you're going to make mistakes and you're going to lose your head a little bit, and you're going to think that you can make this pass and squeeze it in there and hope and pray. And when you're in that position, you very rarely win with that mentality. So it's just a tough second half. It really was. We needed something in the first half or in the first 10 minutes of the second half for anything to be realistic.
Yeah, that was the thinking. I felt like we needed, like you said, we needed a goal in the first 10 minutes of the second half to ensure that we had qualify that we put Madrid under pressure. And I think as soon as we got to like the 65-minute or that mark and we hadn't scored, I felt it was going away from us, and I felt like it was just not going to be our day, but overall, like we went to this game thinking like, can we keep a clean sheet against Madrid at Anfield? And we did, because we actually helped Madrid. I know Benzema had that chance we hit the post in the first half, but I think that was deflected. And I think it wasn't, other than that, I don't really think he had a free header in the second half as well, where he should have scored. But overall, I think we kept him at bay. And I think Trent did really well against Vinicius Jr. He never had any luck today. And then also, even when Fabinho went to centre back, he kind of covered Vinicius Jr. There's one time where Vinicius Jr. was 1-on-1, and he covered him. So I felt like, in terms of defensive point today, I thought we did well. I think what let us down is the attacking wise. And that's what kind of been a tale of our season in terms of like the games would have been really good defensively, poor attacking wise, and the games have been a good attacking wise, but then poor defensively. So it's not like there's very few games when we've been good both sides, defensively and attacking wise.
I thought Eve said it perfectly. She said when the time starts to wind down, players can't help but start to take pot shots, especially when you're trying to come back. I mean, that's 100% it for me. Like you start to be desperate, and you saw it even with Klopp's late substitutions. He brought on Ox, brought on Shaq, and they just didn't have the impact either. Although Ox looked like he really wanted it, he was showing some passion and some aggressiveness. But overall, I thought we defended really well. I thought that Kabak and Phillips, I mean, they received a lot of criticism after that first leg, and both of us were included in that, more so you than me. But I thought that they played really well tonight. I thought that they definitely gave they covered I wouldn't say they covered themselves in glory or anything like that tonight, but I thought they played well. They played against the top striker in Benzema. They frustrated Benzema. Even Phillips covering for Trent at times. There was a couple times when he was one-on-one with Vinicius, and he didn't look like he was mismatched. He really held his own. So I think those guys should stand up and be proud. And honestly, it's a great experience for them to keep a clean sheet against Real Madrid in the Champions League quarterfinal. So I think it's props to them. They played really well.
Yeah, I'm not going to take any away from them. Like, Madrid are a very good team. They're still, despite the age of certain players there, they're still very good in terms of quick frame of mind and thought. And going forward, obviously for me, fair play to them. I hope Madrid or PSG win it, and not an English team wins it. I don't want Chelsea or City anywhere near the Champions League title winners. So, hopefully me, I'm going for Madrid PSG final. And I definitely think this Madrid team will kick out Chelsea. So, onwards and upwards for Liverpool. I'm just going back. I think Garov is like, when he says that we need to win all games now. Look, I'm actually quite positive the top four, because I think like, if you told us like a month back we'd be 2 points off when there were, we were miles, we were like eight or 9 points behind Leicester. We were, there were so many teams ahead of us. It was mad. But you're saying now we're 2 points behind Chelsea, who've got harder running. I don't see why you're still doubting us. Getting top four. I don't see it, unless you're just being really negative for no reason. I don't see why. Like, Leicester now back in it. So that win by West Ham was huge, because they brought Leicester back in it. We know how Leicester are bottle jobs. Spurs are out of it. West Ham, as good as West Ham have been, I'm still not convinced they see it over the line. I think West Ham, they've got Chelsea. They've still got difficult games that they'll come and start, and their injuries are piling up. They've got another injury, so I'm not convinced West Ham will see it. So I think there's 2 Champions League spots up for grabs here. So I definitely feel Leicester are going to fall down with their hard fixtures. So I'm actually quite positive we're going to get top 4. So for me, I don't think this. Yes, it's disappointing without the Champions League. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not upset. Of course, I'm furious that we're out the Champions League, but we have to still try and look at the positives here and not just go into despair and just give up. Top 4 is still on, and we're still great shout of getting top 4. I don't see why we can't go on and get top 4 now. So
I think especially with today's performance, especially in that first half, they can take away some positives. I mean, yeah, everybody's pissed off and sad they're kicked out of the Champions League, but I think Sophie said it best. She said, let's put it this way, at the height of our injury crisis, none of us thought we'd even get to the quarterfinal. That's what it is for me. Like I said that when we were on yesterday. The fact that we're even in this position, that we were in the position with the opportunity to win a quarterfinal second leg against Real Madrid at home. The fact that we are 2 to 3 points behind West Ham and Chelsea for the race for the top 4. The amount of injuries that we've had, 28 different center back partnerships, that has a huge effect on the team, has a huge effect on the fullbacks, huge effect on the goal, on the keeper. So all these things, I think that we should be happy where we are at the moment. I mean, yeah, we're not happy about the Champions League loss, but the fact that we can still get top 4 with the amount of issues that we've had this year, we could be like freaking Arsenal. Like, thank God we're not in that position. It could be worse. It really could be. And the good news is that the results are in our hands. They really are. Like, we have all the power. If we can play well the rest of the season, then we're going to make top 4. If not, then we won't. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. Just go back to the game as well. What did you make of the forwards' performances tonight?
I thought the first half, I thought they played really well. I thought Firmino, I said it in our halftime speech in the watch along. I thought Firmino looked back like he was back to his best. Yeah, he might have missed an opportunity or two. Mane, I thought he looked like he had a lot of confidence. He was going at Valverde constantly. He gave Mo an absolute sitter to finish, and he just couldn't do it. And I thought Salah, although he missed those chances, he was putting himself in the right positions. And I thought he was handling the ball well. He was controlling the ball well. He was retaining possession. He was distributing well. All 3 of them, I think, were doing all the right things. They just couldn't finish the ball. And sometimes that happens. It's just unfortunate. So the fact I thought that something was going to happen in the second half. It didn't. And then Jota, I don't know why more people are going at Jota. You want to go to all of these other players like Mane and Firmino and Salah, all these other players. Nobody's saying a lick about Jota. And Jota was horrendous. Jota was, in my opinion, the worst player on the pitch. He was absolutely awful. So I don't know. I love Jota. I think he's been great this season. But, I thought the front 3 played well overall. And then in the second half, once the subs came on, the whole team kind of deflated. That's what happened for me.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. I think, like, in the first one, I thought Bobby looked really good in terms of pressing. and in terms of passing the ball. I thought Mane in the first half was trying hard, making things right. He should have had an assist because Salah should have scored. So I thought Mane did play well in the first half. I thought Salah, his overall game was good. It's just his finishing was shocking. And I thought after the second half, we lost momentum, and I thought like when the subs came on, we lost our initiative, and then we just couldn't get the final pass or final shot off that would go on and allow us to get back in this game. So I felt like, I agree with Eve. It was the best I've seen of Mane in a long time. I thought Mane did play well today, so I don't see why people are coming for him. So I don't think that people are scapegoating tonight, and I don't think, I'm not going to scapegoat Jota because I think Jota didn't play well at all tonight, or Thiago. But I don't think tonight to start picking the blame at one player or two players. I think tonight collectively, overall, the whole team wasn't good enough, and overall over the two legs, the whole team wasn't good enough over the two legs. We weren't good enough in Spain, and we weren't good enough tonight. So it's not just picking on one player because, if we're going to go for Salah, we wouldn't be in the top 4 race towards for Salah still. So his goal. So, it's annoying. I'm not going to lie. And it's, I definitely feel everyone's pain and frustration. But, we just have to pick ourselves up and go again Monday for Leeds. Liverpool have been good at bouncing back. So we've got a tough game with Leeds. We just got to bounce back. But, before I go on, everyone who's in the chat, make sure you smash the like button because 15 of you in the chat. So smash the like button. We appreciate it. It helps us get the shout to more people. So we appreciate it.
Let's go through player ratings. I'm really interested to see what you think about the player ratings and what the chat thinks, because the chat's been on one today. The chat's been absolutely on one today.
Yeah.
Chat. We're gonna go through some player ratings. We're gonna give our ratings, and if you guys want, just type in a number with each player that we call out. So, homie, let's start with Alisson. Obviously, how do you think he played tonight?
I think Alisson made 2 good saves tonight. Didn't really have much really to do, or he didn't do anything wrong. And I think his, people obviously were doubting Alisson. There were doubts over his performances tonight, and I think he didn't do anything wrong tonight. So I would give him like a 7.5, 8. Well, 7.5. I don't think it was an 8. I think 7.5 for me. I don't think he did anything wrong.
Yeah, I thought he got a finger to that Benzema chance, but it was just a deflection from Kabak. But other than that, he made that great save off of Vinicius when he was on a breakaway. Vinicius took a big touch with his head, and Alisson came out and saved, and then he saved the follow up from Benzema. I think that was massive. So I'll give him a 7.5 to an 8. I thought he was really, really back to his best tonight, and we were concerned for him going into this game, but I thought he came through. He didn't have that many chances to go up against. I think he had 2 saves, but overall, I thought he played a great game. Let's go to Trent. How do you think Trent did today?
I thought Trent, defensive-wise, was really good. Vinicius Jr. never had anything against him tonight. There were a few times where Trent caught Vinicius Jr. and blocked him off and tackled him. So I don't think it was Trent's best game in terms of attacking-wise. I feel that he's played much more better. But he did put a few good balls in, which I did feel that we should have done better with. So with Trent, I'm giving him a 7.5 as well.
Yeah, the chat, Julian saying Trent gets a 9, J-Doc 8.5, Eve saying an 8, BB is saying Trent was one of our best players, 8. Yeah, I thought Trent was definitely one of our best players for all the hate that he got last game against Madrid, and Vicious definitely had his number in that one. I thought he came back and gave Vinicius a really tough game, and he was one of our driving forces when we had the ball. So I'm going to give Trent an 8, 8.5. I thought he was phenomenal, and he definitely he earned it. He had a great game tonight. He had an absolutely great game tonight.
J-Doc says Trent had the most touches
104, most penalty area entries 26, most crosses 17, most ball recoveries 10, most chances created. Yeah, I'm giving him a 9. After those stats, I'm giving him a 9. Absolutely.
I'll bump it up to 9 as well. I think Trent, after reading those stats, he was phenomenal. Kabak.
Kabak, I'm gonna give a. Oof, that's tough. I thought Kabak played really well, actually. I'm gonna give Kabak a. I don't know if I want to give him a 7.
He's not going to send
I'm
for me.
gonna give him a 6.5. I think Kabak played well. He lost possession a few times. I thought Phillips outshined him tonight a little bit. But I thought he played a pretty good game. You know, that again, they weren't really tested too much. But when they were tested, I thought they did a good job of it. I thought it was more of the midfield that played phenomenal in this one, and that allowed us to be a little more concrete back there. But I still think he played well. I'm gonna give him a 6.5.
I'm going to give him a 6. I don't think he had much to do, but I do feel that there were a few times where he was quite sloppy possession. But for what it is in terms of what they had to do tonight, I'm just giving them a 6. Him a 6 for that.
Okay. The chat. Most of the chat agrees. J-Doc said 6. I don't even know what Klopp Out is saying. I'm just not going to read it. Klopp Out. What are you saying, man? Let's go to Phillips. What do you think of Phillips?
I'd give Phillips 6.5. Don't think he did. I think he did a few times well. He gave the ball away. But I think, in terms of what he had to do in terms of headed clearances, he did make some good headed clearances. But I don't think this was a game they were really tested. Madrid were playing in most of the time. So, I don't think Trick Phillips was a 7 for me. I'm going 6.5.
I'm going to give Phillips a 7. I think 7. Yeah, I thought he was phenomenal tonight. I thought he played really well. I thought he did really well against Benzema. He frustrated Benzema. You could tell that Benzema just didn't want to play tonight. He didn't look like he wanted to be there, especially in that first 10 minutes. He got banged up. I think he got taken down by Milner, and then Phillips came in on a corner and really roughed him up a bit. So I thought Phillips was good. I thought he made up for a lot of his mistakes in the first leg. So I'm going to give him a 7. The chat is kind of inconsistent here. Eve's saying 6.5, 7 for Phillips. Julian's saying a 6. BB is saying a 6.5 for Nat. What do you think about Robertson?
I think Robertson is 6 for me. I don't think he was that good today. I think if I compare him to Trent's performances, I thought Robert was poor tonight. He didn't do anything going forward. He wasn't really tested defensively, but he didn't do anything going forward. It wasn't the Robbo that we know that's normally gets down the byline, gets crosses in, and I think he was just okay today. Just did so I wasn't that impressed with Robbo tonight.
Yeah, I thought Robbo did the simple things well. I thought he kept possession. He defended well. But he just wasn't really an attacking force today, and that's kind of what we've seen in the past 3 to 4 months. He just hasn't really been getting down to that touchline too often. I mean, a few times today, but he wasn't nearly the threat that Trent was. So I'm going to give Robbo a 6 for me. I thought that could have been better. On a different day, he might have been better, but today he definitely struggled offensively. So 6 for me for Robertson. But let's go to the midfield. What do you think about Fabinho? Well, the chat real quick. J-Doc said 7 for Robbo. Eve, I think we've been in agreement for mostly everything. Eve's saying 6. J-Doc changed it to 6.5. Robbo needs a rest from BB 7. Overexerted himself for Villa. Yeah, he definitely does need a rest. So maybe we'll see some Mikas over the weekend. We'll see. But what do you think about Fabinho?
Fabinho, I thought he did well. He did some good recoveries, good tackles in the middle of the park. I thought he looked good under pressure in the first half. Wasn't his best game. I don't think Fabinho was amazing to say how he was when he played Barcelona. But he played well. I thought when he went centre back, he wasn't really troubled, and he made a good tackle against Vinicius Junior when he was running through. I'm giving Firmino 7.5.
You said Fabinho or Firmino?
Fabinho 7.5.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought Fabinho was good. Yeah, I think you kind of hit all the points. I'm gonna give him a 7. I didn't think he was outstanding or anything like that. He wasn't a game changer like he was against Barcelona a couple of years ago, but I thought he played a good game, And after that first leg where I thought he was poor, just like the rest of the team, I thought he was poor. I thought today that he definitely stood up and made himself be counted. So yeah, 7 for me. 7 for me for Fabinho. J Doc is saying a 6 for Fabinho. BB is saying a 7. Eve is saying a 7. Let's get to the main man, James Milner. What do you think about James?
I thought Milner was outstanding today. I think Eve mentioned it earlier that how once Milner went off, you saw we lack leadership again, and I thought like he set the standard. Like the first challenge he did on Benzema in the first half, he set the standard. Like that was a good challenge, and he set the benchmark of like the energy. I felt when he went off, we lacked energy, we lacked presence that was getting in Madrid's face, So I felt Milner was very, very good tonight. So I'm giving Milner an 8.
Yeah, I'm actually going to agree with that one. I thought an 8.5. I thought he was absolutely. I'm going to give him an 8.5. I thought he was phenomenal. I thought that he is what we were missing in that first leg. He set the tone in the opening minutes with some crunching challenges, and that immediately got the rest of the players up, and that's when we started to take control of that first half. So his leadership, you're right, is what we were missing in that first leg, and it was evident tonight. So 8.5 for me for James Milner, 35-year-old man. J-Doc saying a 10. Eve is saying a 9 for Millie, 8 from BB. Yeah, J-Doc, I thought he did everything right. He did everything right, and you noticed it when he left the pitch tonight. Unfortunately, he had huge impact, and once he left, we weren't the same. So let's go to Genie, the ever contentious player.
I think Genie played better than he did in Madrid, which I think he was shocking like everyone else. I don't think Genie was anything spectacular. I don't think he did anything better than Fabinho. So, I gave Fabinho 7.5. 7.5 Genie. I don't think he was anything spectacular. I don't think he did anything that special. Kept the ball well, but he missed that good chance where he should have scored. Yeah, I don't think he was anything special.
What'd you give him?
7.5. From that, I don't think it was 8 million level, but I think 7.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him 6.5. I thought he was good. I didn't think he was great. I thought he did.
More 7 though.
What's that?
I think it's more 7. So if you give 6.5, I can see how you're saying that. So maybe 7, 6.5. Sophie, say something bad. I dare you.
I thought he was good. He missed it. He missed a big chance. He doesn't get many of those, so you can't expect him to. I guess we probably could have expected him to bury that one, but we didn't see the heroics from Genie this go around. Unfortunately, I thought he was good. I didn't think he was great. Thought it could have been better. Definitely wasn't as bad as the first leg at Madrid, but. Akiri says this front three couldn't score in a brothel at the moment. Yeah, we're gonna get to them in a second, man. I thought they played well overall, but they couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. J-Doc saying a 6.5 for Genie. Eve saying a 7. Genie, another one that needs a rest, 6.5. Clop out is saying a 5 for Genie. Yeah, he's an ever contentious figure, so a lot of different scores there. But let's get to the front three, and then we'll get to the subs. Let's start with Mane. What do you think about Mane?
Mane, I think Eve said it earlier as well. She said that this is the best I've seen Mane play in a long time. I think it's true. I think Mane looked more energetic. He looked more happier, more on it tonight. He didn't score, but he should have had an assist in terms of Salah should have scored his assist. I think he looked energetic in the first half. In the second half, he lost his way like the rest of the team did. And I think he got frustrated when he moved to the right-hand side. I don't think he was effective on the right-hand side. Although we know Mane can play there when he first joined Liverpool, he was very good on the right-hand side. I don't think he was that good when he went to the right-hand side. I think he became nullified there. So would I give Mane
6.57. Yeah, J-Doc saying a 7.5, Eve saying 7.5. I thought he was for what he was. I thought he was phenomenal in the first half. I thought he was the old Mane, the Mane that we all loved, and that we've gotten to know over the last 4 years. But in the second half, he kind of disappeared, and I think you're right. I think that's one mistake that Klopp made, in my opinion, was he put Jota onto the left, and he put Mane onto the right, Mo through the middle, and it just didn't work. It just didn't work. I thought Jota should have been in the middle. His movement in the middle, I think, is better than Salah's. And I think Mane is much more effective on the left. So I think that's the one mistake that Klopp might have made tonight. But in terms of Mane, I'm gonna give him a 7 overall. I thought he played really well in the first half, but he just disappeared in the second half, unfortunately, after those changes were made. So BB is saying 6.5 for Mane. Klopp out is saying 8.25. The thing with Mane, he slows the play down sometimes. Yeah, he does. He does. I think a lot of players can be guilty of that. I think in that first 20 minutes, man, he was increasing the pace of the game. He was constantly going at Valverde from what I remember. But yeah, it was good to see his confidence back for that first 45 minutes. It really was. Hopefully, he can continue it in for the rest of the season and ensure us top 4. But what do you think about Bobby? What are we giving Bobby?
So I thought Bobby looked much livelier than he has done in a lot of games as well. I thought he kind of did his job in terms of, Cruz didn't have much of an impact in the game. Yeah. So I think in terms of stopping Cruz from dominating the game he did before, I thought Bobby did that, and his link-up play in the first half was good.
Yeah.
I thought he was causing Madrid problems. In the second half as well, just like Mane, he faded, then he started forcing it. And he started trying too hard to hit balls that were sloppy. And there's also the chance, I think, was in the first half where we had that counter-attack, and his ball was so sloppily pulled.
The ball was so bad. The Trent. Yeah. Trent was making Rudd, and he waited too long, and Mendy just read it like a book.
Yeah, it was such a poor pass and lazy pass. Yeah. So I think, although Bobby did play well overall, I'm giving him I gave mine a 6. I'm again 6.57. Around that mark.
Yeah, I'm giving Firmino a 7. I thought that, like you said, he missed some big chances in terms of that pass to Trent. I think there was another one to Salah where he didn't get it right, and then he missed 1 or 2 chances. But yeah, I think Eve said it perfectly here. And that's where I think Klopp might have, Klopp should have faced some criticism a little more, is that Firmino should have started that first leg. We saw what he can do tonight with a defender at his back that Jota couldn't do in the first leg. I thought he was absolutely phenomenal. So 7 for me for Firmino. I thought he was great. Hopefully, could continue it. But J-Doc saying 7.5 for Bobby. BB is saying a 7. A lot of 7s tonight for everybody. So Eve saying 7.5 for Bobby as well, and Klopp out is saying 6.75. Finally, let's get to Salah. Do you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, make sure everyone smash that like and subscribe button, please. It really helps us. So keep pounding it. Smash that like button. The 7 of you, smash the like button, and share this with everyone, your friends, fan members, everyone who's a Liverpool fan, or even a football fan. Salah. In terms of overall gameplay, I thought Salah looked threatening in terms of his running, his dribbling, his link-up play. I thought he looked threatening. In terms of finishing, he was shocking. Yeah. And that's what, cost us tonight, because, I'm not going to get on Salah's back too much because, look, we're in the top 4 race because a lot of Salah's goals.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Salah, we wouldn't be in the top 4 race. The amount of times he scored us, and the fact that even in the Leipzig game, Salah's goals got us to the quarterfinal, as we wouldn't be there. So, but at the same time, Salah wasn't good enough tonight overall. So the same again, 6.57 for me. I don't think any of the front 3 were above a 7, so around that mark for me. Because I think overall Salah did play well, so his finishing wasn't on today.
Yeah, for me. It was I would have given him a 6.5, probably a 6.5. And I think that if he scored a goal, that easily would have been jumped up to 8.5. I thought he was, like I said earlier, he was great in the ball. His passing was good. He was doing everything right, except he couldn't put it in the back of the net, which was kind of the story of the night. So 6.5 for me for Salah. J-Doc is saying 7 for Salah. Finishing was next level terrible. Yeah, and it was just very uncharacteristic of Mo. It was very surprising, to be honest, especially on the big stage. BB is saying a 7.5 for Salah, so definitely one of the higher ratings for Mo. And Eve again agreeing with us and saying 6.5 to 7. So finally, let's just go quickly through the subs. Klopp out 6.95. Thanks, man. Again, let's just go quickly through the subs. Thiago, Jota, and I don't even know if you can give Ox and Shaq a real.
I don't think they have that time to impact.
What'd you think of Thiago?
Thiago had at least half an hour, right?
What's that?
Yeah, he had at least half an hour.
Thiago and Jota had half an hour. They came in at 6.
I think Thiago was for 4-3. Like, he did nothing. For what we know Thiago's ability, and it has been a mixed season for him. Like, he's had the injuries. He's coming to a Liverpool team that's missing its best players. There's been lots of turmoil. A lot of players are out of form. He's been having to play out of position at times, and he's come in the game cold, in a way. Not played really started the last 3 games, and the game was past him when he came in and just went past him. So he never really affected it whatsoever. So I think, like I said, 3-4 was shocking. Offered nothing. He didn't control the game. He didn't do any insightful passing. He overhit that pass of Robbo when Robbo was run through. And even you see in his face, like, he knows he should be better than that. He was shocking.
I think Robbo was offside, though.
Was it? I think he was. But still, Thiago makes that pass at Bayern Munich. It was shocking. It was shocking.
Yeah, I'm not going to fully blame him. It's a tough game to come into. You're looking for inspiration, and he didn't really have it tonight. He couldn't match Milner's intensity. But for me, I hate to say I'm giving him a 4. I thought he was pretty bad, and I have Sofa score up in the background, and they gave him a 7.
Who? Really?
Yeah.
What were they basing that on?
He had 45 touches, passing accuracy 88%, long balls he was 3 for 4, ground duels 1, he was 2 for 3. He lost the ball 5 times. He only fouled once, 2 tackles. When you look at the stats, he looked like he played okay, but the eye test tells the real truth. I think today, I think he just didn't. I think the last game was the game to play him, and it's tough for him to come off the bench in this one and really make an impact. So for me, I'm giving Thiago a 4. Sophie's saying that they were crap. J-Doc 5 for all subs, but Thiago gets a 3. Wow. Yeah, that's tough. Let's see.
I think that's even for Thiago. He only fouled once.
Yeah. Okay. Jota, Thiago 0.5 from Klopp out. Okay. What'd you think of Jota?
I said on the watch along that how I think I watched it on the Anfield Wrap, and they were talking about how Jota in Spain felt overall by the whole situation that he'd never played in the Champions League level really before. I know he'd been on the bench for Porto when he was in Portugal, but he'd never really played on that level. And he looked the whole situation got to him. Like, he froze in the thing, like, oh wow, I'm in this quarterfinal against Madrid, and he froze. And the occasion became too big for him. I felt again tonight. Like, if you saw Jota when he comes on normally in the league, he's more involved in the game, much more movement. I felt even when he played left wing versus Villa, he played much more better than that. He created chances against Villa. He looked more threatening. He came on today against a guy who's not a natural right back and was shocking. And again, like Thiago, as we were saying, it's very hard for him to come on and change the game. And maybe we're used to Jota coming off the bench and scoring goals in the league. And we thought, oh wow, Jota's going to come on and bang us a goal and stuff. But I think we have to remember as well, Jota's only, I'm trying to make excuses, he's come up from injury recently, right? So, the fact that he came back and started scoring straight away after injury, most players don't do that. So, But I thought overall tonight that Jota was poor.
Yeah, I'm gonna. So wait, what'd you give him?
Jota's rating is the same, 3-4.
I gave Thiago a 4. I'm giving Jota a 3. I thought Jota was terrible. I thought he was awful. And it's funny going back to SofaScore. Let me pull it up real quick. They gave Jota a 6.4. 67% passing accuracy. Crosses 0 for 2. Dribble attempts 1 for 4. So he lost the ball 13 times. So it wasn't. He didn't have the game. So it wasn't for him tonight, unfortunately. Yeah, thanks for joining us, Klopp. I really appreciate it, man. But yeah, so for me, I'm giving Jota a 3. I thought he and Thiago were poor when they came on, and hopefully we can bounce back. Who do we have this weekend?
Leeds on Monday.
Leeds on Monday. Okay. What do you think about Klopp? Then let's give Klopp a rating.
It's a tough one, when you think about Klopp. I'm giving Klopp. So I think in Spain he was shocking. I'd only give him a 2 in Spain, 2 or 1. Tonight I'm giving him a 6.5. I felt like people criticize his lineups, but if they score those 3 goals or taking one of those chances, it's a different game, and everyone's calling Klopp a genius. Small margins. He can't do anything more in that first half. The chance we're putting the plate for Salah and Ginny, then he can't do anything more there. Unless he's on the pitch himself scoring, he can't do any more. Otherwise, the subs. I think he got the. I think he took the wrong players off for the subs, and I give him 6.5. I don't think he could have done more tonight overall, Klopp.
I'm giving him a 7. I thought he proved a lot of supporters wrong. I thought he got the first half spot on. The press was immense. Real Madrid couldn't handle it. And if the finishing was there, we would have gone through. So I thought Klopp put the players in the position to succeed. Unfortunately, they didn't come through for him. But that was in the first half. In the second half, I think he made the substitutions at the right time. But unfortunately, the substitutions didn't come through for him again. The one thing I think he did incorrectly was his formation. I thought that his positioning of the players. I thought Jota should have been through the middle. Mane should have stayed on the left, Mo on the right, and Bobby should have dropped in. Unfortunately, he didn't do that. Jota was probably his second to worst game for us. Mane disappeared, and the rest happened the way it did. So, yeah, 6.5 for me for Jurgen. Eve is saying 6.5, 7. I'm sorry, I said 7. I said a 7 for Jurgen. Eve's saying 6.5, 7. BB saying 6.5. So yeah, ultimately tough game overall for the Reds. I thought we should have gone through. We deserved to go through, but the finishing just wasn't there. And sometimes that happens in football. That's the way the ball rolls sometimes. But before we end, let's end on a high. We're gonna do some quick trivia. Well, homie, what do you got?
So first one, what's the worst date you've ever been on? I got mine in my head.
Maybe like a Tinder one. When Tinder first came out, I'm terrible at that stuff, so it was pretty poor. What about you?
What happened? Anyone in the chat as well? Have you got your worst date?
It was just awkward. I think there was, it just didn't work out. Thankfully.
Yeah. My one was so it must have been like 8 years ago, and I went on a date with this girl. I went on a date with this girl from Plenty of Fish, and she turned up basically on the day and just said to me, "Look, we're sat there," because her phone kept going off. I was like, "Well, who keeps calling you?" And she goes, "Oh," and then she goes, "Who is that?" She goes, "Oh, it's no one." I said, "Well, someone keeps calling you over and over again. That's a bit weird." She goes, and then she eventually said, "Look, it's my boyfriend." And I was like, "Wait, you got a boyfriend?" She goes, "Yeah, I'm only on this date just to piss him off." I'm not. And I said, what about me? She says, yeah, I don't really like you. And I was like, okay, wow.
You're like,
okay.
oh, you getting the bill?
No, I didn't. I think we only had like one drink, and I was like, she's wow. Yeah, she said, no, I don't really like you, to be honest. I just got up and walked out. So
Yeah.
that was the worst one.
All right, what's the next one?
Next one. What's your sandwich out of these? Jam sandwich, peanut butter sandwich, peanut butter and jelly, peanut butter and jam, or just a butter sandwich? Or do you have a different sandwich you like?
I go peanut butter and jam all day. That's the best one. Jelly's too. I don't know. I don't like jelly's a little strange. I don't like jelly. I used to have it as a kid all the time, but as I've grown and as I've matured, I've gone to jam. Jam is the best. Raspberry jam is the way to go.
For me, it's just butter, but I like a melted butter sandwich. So I like to melt my butter. So
You
it's
just
like,
melt butter on it?
yeah, I like melted butter. I'm not really a fan of jam that much. I don't like peanut butter. I don't like jelly. So I will put butter in it, melt it, toasted, like toasted crisp, and have it that way. Then I might add something to it. But that's how I have it.
Wait, did you say you toast the bread at all?
Yeah, toasted bread. Yeah, so
Oh
melted.
my God, jeez, I was gonna call you a crazy person if you didn't.
No, I don't. I have to have toasted bread. I can't have just bread.
Yeah.
Just on its own like that, dry. I don't like dry bread that way.
Yeah.
All right, last one. What film made you cry?
Jeez, man, you're pulling out the tough ones today. Why don't you go first while I think about it?
What made you cry? And I also says that not as a teen, not a child, as a teen upwards. So what film made you cry? Was that's a tough one actually.
I'll probably say Forrest Gump. I didn't cry. I definitely teared up.
Forrest Gump.
At the end when he's talking to Jenny at the tree, gets me every time. Or when Bubba dies. Bubba, that's a tough one too.
I'd say Stand By Me.
I haven't seen that one.
It's good. It's really good. Like the four boys who go on a little road trip and stuff. But yeah, it's really good because the guy who plays it, River Phoenix, I think Keanu Reeves dies. He dies in real life at the time of the movie, but in the film they kill him off as well. And it's sad how he dies, and the guy's reading about him saying, "Oh, I didn't know he died." So yeah, that's trivia ones. Hopefully that cheered up people. That the dates and stuff.
That last one probably didn't.
But maybe we'll cheer up a bit and we can leave here on a high. But otherwise, yeah, you guys have all been amazing as always in the chat. Yeah, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. You have it done. Tell your friends about Youngster the Cop. Tell every Liverpool fan and football fan about Youngster the Cop, so we can grow this Liverpool family as big as possible. And also, again, thanks once again everyone for helping us get to 300 subscribers. Really appreciate it. We wouldn't have got there without your help. And onwards and upwards to 500. And me and Andrew, and Stephen, really grateful. And we've got some exciting news coming up. So stay tuned for that. And we are going to have more watch-alongs, match previews, and other great content shows coming up for you. So it's exciting times. Otherwise, anything else?
Thanks for joining us. I think you were new to the chat today. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your contributions today. Good stuff. We'll be back on Friday for Friday's final word, just to go over a bunch of stuff, everything Liverpool news, and then we'll be back again after that for on Sunday for the preview of the Leeds match on Monday. So
100%.
Stay tuned, guys, and look out for our content on our respective Twitters, and we'll see you guys again soon. Up the Reds.